Hello ladies, Tuesday the 5th of April. Where is the time flying into another month? So obviously we're 9 weeks out now to the June bank holiday. We started off at 10 weeks last week, so we really need to make a difference this week again, because when I see it again it's going to be 8 weeks to the June bank holiday. Absolutely fantastic weight loss and inch loss this week. Lots of rewards given out, £7 stickers, paper clips and stone for stone, which is brilliant. I'm super proud of one and all. Well done on getting there this week. Those that had a bad week, you got there. Those that had a good week, you got there and you contributed. And those that stayed the same, it's practice for maintenance. Those that couldn't be with us, get well soon. And those that are on holidays, enjoy and bring back some sunshine, because it's a dark day out there in Dublin today. But we are doing fantastic. Let's keep our momentum going, keep our mojo on track. This week's talk is all about carbs. The specialised section on the food pyramid has a whole shelf to itself, and it is the shelf that makes us put on weight, unfortunately. But we can't cut it out. Usually when I say that, most members will say, okay, that's the end of that, I'm just going to cut that food group out. You actually can't, because as it says there first in our talk, carbs is your energy. Why the HSE reduced it in 2016 to 3 to 4 carbs for females is because we're just not as active. It was up at 6 prior to 2016, but we are just not as active. You know yourself, girls, we send the carts to car wash, we've window cleaners, we've dryers for the clothes, we tear up carpets, put down wooden flooring. Everything is handy and convenience. So we just don't need as much energy food maybe as a generation before us, who could have maybe pots of potatoes or sliced pans, because we're much more active. Most households now have 2 cars per household, so again we're just not as active. We won't even kind of walk to the local shop. We jump in the car, reverse the car. By the time we get the car out, we'd have walked there and back in that space of time. So I want us to make sure that we're choosing high fibre options. That's really important. They're best for your gut and they're the best energy providers for your body. So I am going to cover what's obviously on the talk in the picture. I want you to look at a video that I'm going to post along with this. So it's a video of the top table. So those that couldn't stay, you'll see the portion size, the size of potatoes, the bread, the crackers that was recommended. It's just impossible here to do it on the video. So if you have any questions, you know the drill, just to ask. But do have a look at the video. You'll see all the labels that was on the top table. The top table was different this morning. So it wasn't the principle of right is right, left is dodgy. Because we're specialising in carbs, it's a mixture that's really on the table. So any questions, please ask. But what is on the table is basically the portion size, let's say. So I want you to choose the high fibre options. Always choose whole grain. So us as our genetic makeup, the Celtic nation, we are wheat intolerant, okay? So it doesn't mean that we're celiac. It just means that our bodies don't really break it down very well. I know myself, if I have white bread or white pasta, I feel like it's like a lump in my stomach, really, if I'm honest with you. So therefore my body is telling me it can't really break that down. It does get stuck to the wall of our gut and our intestines, so the body can't break it down and flush it out as quick as, let's say, whole grain. If you can't find whole grain, wholemeal is the next best thing. So I would like you to be choosing brown rice, brown pasta, your whole grain bread, where possible. It is the same, the same carb value, but it's better. The whole grain is much better for our bodies. Our bodies is able to process it down much quicker, so it doesn't, let's say, hang around. Next then, I want you to vary your carbs and spend them wisely. So it's a little like I give you €4 for the day. Would you go out and spend that €4 first thing on your breakfast and leave yourself short for the rest of the day? Or are you going to spend it wisely, spend it, balance it throughout the day, and maybe even have a half carb left over just in case, okay? So that's really what I want you to do, is spend them wisely and really vary. So if you're the member that might say, let's say on your food diary is Weetabix every day, maybe a Slimbo for lunch, maybe potatoes or rice for dinner, I really want you to mix that up, because if you're eating the same food, number one, you're getting bored, number two, your body is bored, and number three, you're slowing up your own metabolism. So as much variety as possible to get the body confused, because when you put something different in, the body has to waken up and say, okay, well, how do I process this? Where do I send this in the body? So confuse the body and make it interesting for yourself as well is really key. So many we on a day, just to clarify that again, we're on 3 to 4 servings a day. So no more than 4 and no less than 3. If you even had an extra carb a day, so you hit 4.5 carbs a day, you would put on £2 in a week. So you might say it's only an extra bit of cereal, or it's only an extra bit of rice, or it's a half slice of toast. All those little bits add up and would show a reflection on the scales. You might think to yourself, it's better than a bar of chocolate, it's better than a packet of crisps. In theory, yes, but if you don't control your carbohydrates and your portion size, we will end up putting on weight, okay? So that's why it's good to be mindful of this. And I know a lot of you said in class that you found this talk really good and very educational, and it's good to recap. Maybe if we're on the programme a little while, we could be on it years, we could be on it months. It's good to go back to basics, because generally what we learn at the beginning, we're very rigid, and it's what the Clodagh say, 30 grams and one slice this, and we're very on the ball. And over time we think we know it. We know that our eyes can judge, or our hands, and it's usually those little shakes, they always add up, because we're always much kinder to ourselves if we're honest about it. Not to mix high carb foods into one sitting. So ideally not to have, say, Weetabix and a banana. Okay, have your Weetabix and then push the banana out to your snack box if you wish, or if you remember to have cereal and toast, have cereal for your first box and then push the slice of toast out. Not under one sitting. It's too much and your body just can't break it down quick enough. So what is a portion? So a portion is one slice of bread. So it's not your batch, it's not your bloomer. It's one carb. The bread that I'm recommending is still the McCluskey's bread. It's a doorstep, it's a proper slice of bread. It's good value for carbs. Coming back to spending your carbs wisely. Be careful with the McCambridge bread, the small slice of brown bread. 2 of those is 3 carbs, or else 1.5 carbs each. So don't do the Irish thing on it and say, sure, there's nothing in that, and we kind of go by weight, because there is a lot in it, okay? One small pita then is 1 carb. Your larger one, the oval one, then would be 2. So as I was saying in the class, have 2 small pittas for 1 carb and fill them, pack them with your meat, with your lettuce. Pack that up, have 2 rather than have 1 that's filled, because again it tricks the mind that you're seeing more on the plate. 1 medium wrap, so it's the size of chickpea wraps that we had in class, or if it's the larger one, it's 2. So again, rather than the larger one, have 2 wraps stuffed, if that's what you want to spend your 2 carbohydrates on, girls. So 2 real brand Weetabix, so it has to be the real brand. I'm not promoting any brands, but it has to be the real brand. That's why it is more expensive. But 2 of the real brand Weetabix is 1 carb. 30 grams of cereal, so the cups that I gave out, anyone that didn't get a plastic cup for measurement, just let me know next week. I'll have more of those next week. Near impossible to get down in party shops or anything. So 2 real brand Weetabix, 30 grams of cereal is 1 carb, 20 grams of dry porridge is 1 carb. Just be careful, special cane fruit and fibre, anything that has dried fruit in it, because obviously then you're actually taking from the amount of flakes, let's say, the amount of carbs that you would get. So just be careful with those, okay? 15 grams of muesli is 1 carb. So you know yourself, muesli is lovely, and it'd be very hard for me to pour 15 grams of that. So maybe just steer clear of that. Maybe keep it as a treat if you like that. 1 cup of rice, cooked rice or cooked pasta. So the plastic cup which I gave out, obviously you're going to cook your rice and pasta, drain off the water, scoop the cup in, level it off, and that's 1 carbohydrate. A potato fits into your hand, so it's the hand like this, okay, not a closed hand like that. So it's actually an open hand. So again, the measurement is on the other video, or anyone that was at class, you've seen the measurement yourself. Is 1 carb. Or if you really like potatoes, I'd always advise get the baby potatoes, because you can maybe fit 4, 5, 6 in your hand depending on the size, and so it tricks the mind again that you're seeing more on the plate. Sweet potato is free, so the large sweet potato that you see in the plastic bag on the top table, that size is free. Anything more than that is carb territory, okay? The ones in the net now are actually quite small. It's obviously in season or different things, or not in season I should say. So if you're unsure, again, just to ask me or send me a picture. I'm more than happy to answer questions. Mash then is absolutely fine. If I make a mash for myself, Sam and Riyadh, I might throw in 4 potatoes. I know that's let's say a carb and a half each for me and Sam. So you just make it with your slimline milk and your real butter. Nothing to write home about. The skin of the potato is the best, so it likes your McCain's frozen potatoes. 1 of those is 1 carb also. But the most fibre is in the skin and plenty of roughage. 4 crackers is 1 carb, or 15 of the little crackers. Again, I'll post a video to the group for that. So it's a blanket rule on crackers or cream crackers. If you shop well, like what we talked about in class, there's 1 in little that is 5 of them for 1 carb. Oat cakes and those are a lot higher. 5 corn cakes, they're 1 carbohydrate, and 5 of the brochies, that's like a large papadum, is 1 carbohydrate. 200 grams of popcorn cheese or plain is 1. Just be careful with the multi-packs. Generally they tend to be 20 grams, so therefore you'll be pushing it over by 10 grams. But if you can get 15 gram bags, 2 of those in a day would be 1 carbohydrate. 25 grams of multi-pack crisps, your treble crunch or the baked ones, again what I had in class today. The theory behind the multi-pack, so again, if you're the member that loves crisps and you know having the multi-pack is going to be dangerous, I would just basically steer clear. But it is the psychology that we're opening the bag of crisps. So it doesn't matter that it's 25 grams or 37 gram bags. It's the psychology. Well, I'm having a bag of crisps because you've opened the bag. So believe it or not, it is the psychology behind that. If you buy a standard bag of crisps in the shop single, they're roughly 37.5 gram bags, and they're anything between 4 and 7 carbs. So hunky dories again will be a little bit higher. So again, just to watch that. Again, this talk about re-education. It's not about you can't have this or you can't have that. But again, I really want you to spend your carbohydrates wisely. Don't spend them willy-nilly. I'm not mean with money, but I'm very mean with carbs, because I know it's the ones that put on weight and the ones that we really need to watch on portion size. So the ones, foods that are really high in carbs that we kind of really need to stay clear on as we're losing weight would be scones. So like a Costa scones coming in at roughly 18 carbs. All noodles, so your cocoa noodles is 9 carbs in the pot. The one that you have to cook in your own pot is roughly 15. All bagels, even if they're slim bagels, they are high. They're between 9 and 4 and 9 depending on the brand. So Slimbos is your better option there. Slimbo is 1 carb. The likes of your bread, the likes of your paninis, your ciabattas, all them are much higher. Your bread rolls is in there as well. The bread roll that I have there in class, that's 11 carbs. That's equivalent to 11 slices of bread. It doesn't matter if you tear the bread out of the middle of it, it all counts. 3 bananas ideally a week, but as we're losing weight, I'd advise steering clear. Kiwis have more potassium than banana, so maybe if you want to switch to the kiwi. Muffins again are high, anything between 8 and 15. Obviously my ones are free, and the recipe is a good option to have in there. Pastry, so your croissants, the croissant that I had there is 9 carbs, and that's one of the small croissants. Anything more than that is obviously higher. Pies then, so any of your steak and kidney pies, anything that has pastry on just to watch. The likes of stuffing, we generally don't have that every day, so that's once a week, that's fine. Anything with breadcrumbs, so your chicken Kievs, your chicken goujons, to watch that, because obviously breadcrumbs is carbohydrate territory. So I hope that helped. I'm actually covering a lot of information there. Any questions, you know the drill, just to ask me. So the motto for this week is eat less and move more. Okay, so make one change this week. Summer's on the way. We have 9 weeks out to the June bank holiday. Now is the time to get stuck in and make your difference. And we're all doing absolutely fantastic. Stay on track, keep the blinkers on, and go for gold this week, girls. Lots of love. Any feedback, let me know. Big kisses and bye.